Welcome. How are you? Welcome to Metadigm Digital. Today we are going to start a new era on the Coffee Break Show. I'm Vicki Helm. I'm so glad to see you today. Thank you for being with us. And if you're new here, welcome aboard. We go live Monday through Friday, and we here take a little bit of a coffee break together, and we share tips and news and share tools and manifestations and successes that we've had, and we create thrivability in this new paradigm that we are creating. Today, you'll notice some different things. So behind me, I'm very thankful for the Smart Life Club. Thank you very much for that. And we are moving into a bigger way of serving you better. In today's broadcast, we're going to be talking about the power of publishing. And I know that sounds like insane, but if you understood the power of publishing, you will understand how it makes connections. But if you're new here, do me a favor, just put your name down below. Glad to be here. Just put your name down below. I'm so happy you are joining us. Thank you. We've got people coming on right now. I just want to say there's a good morning from Donnie. Way to go. Nice. Let's see. Hi, beautiful. I'm not sure who this is, but my guess, because it has a red heart, if it's Bondi, just hang in there, and I'm so glad you're here with us today. And I want to say good morning. So graceful for the beautiful, so grateful for the beautiful. Thank you for the beautiful day. If you're coming on right now and we're having a new thing and you're looking at it and you're saying the headers are different and everything is different, yes. We've morphed into a bigger channel with bigger guests. We're looking how to serve you better. And today I want to talk about the power of publishing. Hey, look who's with us this morning. Good morning, Lori. Nice to see you on. Nice to see everybody. Hey, Barty, thank you for being here. Do me a favor, Barty. Up here, you're going to see something that says StreamYard/Facebook. If you click on that and click the blue button, it'll allow us to see your face. Because I use a third-party streaming thing, I have to go ahead and do that there. And I want to give a shout out today. So today we're going to be talking about the power of publishing, and I want to talk about that. So last week, a couple of weeks ago, we had Joe Vitale on with his Money, Love, Speed book, and that was really great. And you know, as a writer, I have 37 books out right now, and I read constantly. If you're a writer, you know that you're constantly reading other people's work. If you're a video maker, you're constantly reading other video work. If you are doing, oh no, I just woke up, laugh out loud, tomorrow. Well, whoever this is, welcome aboard. I'm so glad you're here. Just get your cup of coffee and join us and hang out with us today. So anyway, you know, if you're looking at YouTube, you're a video creator, all of this is publishing, all of it, whether it's an article, whether it's a book. And so every single weekend, every single week, I read a book. And so what it looks like for me is this is what I'm going to be reading. This is what I'm going to be reading this weekend right now. It's everything. I read nonfiction because I want to learn more. But here's what's interesting. This is Barty Toto. And what's interesting about her is that she kind of saved me $2,000. Now, I want you to listen to this, okay? So I'm strolling through my Facebook feed, and there's an ad about how to do branding and how to teach this class and blah, blah, blah. So I clicked on the ad and I was looking at it, almost getting ready to buy, when I thought I would read a couple of the reviews down below. And the first review was this woman who said, I got to the New York Times bestseller list without spending a dime on this, without doing this at all. And right away, I was like, how did that happen? I have 37 books and I haven't been on the New York Times bestseller list. And that's a goal of mine. So right away, I clicked the name and I clicked and I started researching, and I realized she had a new book out. And I was like, okay, before I spend that $2,000, I want to find out how she did this. So I took that and I was like, disrupt your brand. This is very big right now, disrupting your brand, creating a brand, having a brand, being a brand. And so stand out and build credibility and trust. Doesn't that look like a good read? For me, it did. And so right away, I went ahead and popped that onto my buy list. It was pre-ordered because it was pre-sale. It wasn't even out yet. But I read about a book a week. So I like to have a stack of books next to me. So when I'm done reading that book, I'm reading the next book. I also like to promote authors that don't try to game or cheat the system. So here's what I know. I know I can buy my way on to the New York Times bestseller list. If you've got between $20,000 and $100,000, you can buy your way onto that list. In fact, if you take a look at Russell Brunson, his book .com Secrets has probably sold over 200,000 copies, and he's not on the New York Times list. And that should make you think a little bit right there. So, and look at this. This is her right here. This is Barty Toto right here. And she just said, and by the way, welcome to the Smart Life Club. Nice to have you. It's a great introduction. In fact, Karen, if you could slate Barty onto the show, Barty, if you're willing to come on the show as a guest, we'd have fun with that as well. She said, look at this. I haven't spent a dime in 13 years on marketing and branding. All of it done through social media. That's a pretty cool thing to know, right? And so here's our resident guy right here. Hey, happy Thankful Thursday, everyone. Ooh, I like that. Thankful Thursday. We're keeping that, buddy. Welcome aboard. Everyone, hope you're all doing well. And look at this. Good morning from Sean. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Cheers. Cheers. Glad that you're with us right here. And so what happens when we look at publishing? I want to tell you the single most important things that you can do right now is create content. And I mean lots of it, not a little of it. How many memes are you making? How many articles are you writing? How many books are you getting out? Have you designed your first book? How many times are you on talking to your target market, to your client, to your person? Publishing is the gift of sharing in such a way that somebody can digest what you have to offer on their own time. So I get to read this book whenever I want. I get to highlight it and move through it and refer back to it. To me, one of the most empowering things you can do to help humanity is publish. Now, if you have a podcast and you're doing a podcast every day, yes, that's publishing. And this week, hey, nice to see you all on. Thank you so much for being here. I want to let you know Sasha is saying good morning and hello to everyone. Let's see. Barty, I just sent a friend request. Please accept it and I'll messenger a show invite for you. And I'd love to, I try to promote every single author I can promote that I think delivers good value to people. Good morning, MJ, Marie Jo. Nice to see you. I'm so glad you're here with us today, buddy. All right. So we're going on and we're looking at one of the things that you can do. The power of creating content over time. It has to be consistent. We create content all the time. We expand and grow our content all the time. We look at ways that we can go live on 5 channels all at once, or we look at a way that we can get a series of books that'll help people with steps going forward. When you're building your platform, when you're building your career, when you're building your brand, what do you represent? And one book doth not make an author. I have several books out. When you go to Medium, I have 70 articles on that platform. You want to constantly be creating content. Thank you. Let's go over here. Hang on, I'm going to pop up here, Karen. Thank you. Of course, I've interviewed Mike Ditka, Gary Vee. That's right, you have. I noticed that. I was featured in Entrepreneur magazine a month ago, and Gary Vee is featured in the book. We must talk today. Sure. We have a scheduler there. We can do that. There's Karen Sachs-Epley right there. That's the girl you want to contact. Thank you for doing that. Let's say, good day, all. Ryan is on. Hey, Ryan. Here's a cup of Joe. Everybody, let's go. So what is empowering a lot of times is that you can have one fundamental piece of creative content, just like Robert did. I mean, the best example is Robert. Robert says, I can't wait to send you my book I'm working on. Thank you. Finally. Yay. That's great, Robert. That's such good news. So Robert just had just one picture get shared, not liked, not loved, not hugged, not commented on. I mean, he got a lot of comments and everything else, but it got shared. People thought it was so powerful, so important. They shared it over 100,000 times. That's the power of creating content. If you want to be known, you've got to give of yourself first. It's like this open hand love and shining for people to meet you. Writing a book is giving yourself first. They get to look at it. People are always take a book and they're going to look at the front of it. Then they're going to read the back of it. Then they're going to open it up and read the page and read the table of contents. That's giving them a view. And if they get to go purchase on Amazon, they get a look inside the book. And that helps them know you, like you, and trust you. And so this week, our Wednesday welcome guest is Linda Sterling, and she is one of the biggest publishing industry experts you will ever meet. And I don't want to tell you anymore because she's so exciting. She's also my publisher as well. And so, hey, Barb, good morning. Nice to see you on. She's been wrangling puppies. Let's see. I'd like to know your opinion on using pen names these days. Back then, I started writing and publishing. We were encouraged to take that route. Yes, we were. I've got friends who published over 1,000 books in 2019 alone. So that's so important, Barb. I just want to talk about that, whether you have pen names or not. Now, this is my opinion. You can do whatever you need to do, but this is my opinion. Whatever, if you're nonfiction and you're representing a brand, you need to use your name, because people nowadays, they want to look you up. They want to Google your name and find out all about you and see what you're doing and see how things are done. And what happens is, if they can't find you, or there's only this thing that says Amazon book, then, if they can't find you, they can't do business with you. So I'd always use the name that you're going to use, the name on your brand or your business. The next thing I would say is, if you're a fiction writer and you're just playing and it's just fiction, and maybe you're doing children's books, you could be under a different name. Or if you're doing a fiction series and all you're thinking is the series will sell and I'll have the income, and then you can go ahead and do whatever you want there. Or if you do, material that's for adults, I might put a different name on that as well. I might have something that says something different. But to me, when you write nonfiction, which is to me, easiest form to write, if you write nonfiction, now I've gotten better at scripts, but usually if I write a script, I have to have editors on there rewriting or adding stuff into the script. And copywriting is completely different. When you learn to copyright, you want your name on everything that you do, because copywriting is a business. And so you want to make sure that when you're improving there. But nonfiction, there, to me, because I write nonfiction, that's the easiest stuff to get out as a book. So to me, it's like, if you're writing and you know your topic and you're writing in nonfiction, you can knock out a book in 15 days and have it to market that way. So anything that is brandable or businessable, or you want to build influence with your name, use your name. If it's not necessary, you can pen name anything you want. I have right now one ghostwriting project in the thing that I ghostwrite for. And I've ghostwritten several books, which is a lot of time in the 37 book range. How many of them have been ghostwritten? The ones that I write that are all about my business or branding, you can see some of the books behind here and up here and over here and over there and up there. Those are all some of the books. That book up there, I put forward those books that I published, but I probably published over 1,000 articles. I've only been on the cover of one magazine. I have, been published in magazines a lot, both back in the day when they weren't so online, and online as well. Let's see. Depends on what you want to brand yourself. So I agree. It depends on what you want to do with this. So, This is going to be Barb. Please ask Linda that question next week too, because it's so powerful. And Linda is the publishing goddess. She is so awesome. But many authors don't want to be contacted. That's true. They just want their writing publishing efforts to be successful. And I think that's a hard way to go for me. Even if they write, if you can't publish what you're doing, if you can't get to the point where you are on a show or on a podcast or anything else, it's kind of hard to sell books. There's a lot of competition now. This is from Barty, and it says, I love what you're doing. My favorite book I've written is The Power of Asking. Yes, I saw that. I want to interview you on my podcast, Disrupt Your Brand. Would love to do that. That's fine. Karen will set that up for you. Let's see what we got here. Would make sense that it's a personal choice. I think so. It's a personal choice because sometimes there are different brands that you want to represent, or maybe more publishing things that you want to do that are different. Just like some people don't want a presence on Facebook or YouTube, but still want to be out there with their content. I'm just going to go here just for my record. My adult books are not dirty, and absolutely there's no way I would give up my pen name. I know what you mean, and thank you for being courageous enough to say that. Let's see. The Power of Asking. What a title to build a book around. I know. I think we're just going to sneak Barty on here and have a conversation. It's interesting how you meet people, because honestly, I've just met Barty. We're just getting to know each other in this venue. And I met her off a Facebook ad that protected me from spending or overspending on unnecessarily. So I'm very excited about meeting this person as well. I think that was the next one on our reading list. I love the title. Yes. I like this. Here's Robert. Being an author gives credibility to a person in the perception of the audience. They look at you as an expert in your industry. They should be, because when you write a book, you should be an expert in your industry. I want to tell you a story about that. There was a day I bought a book on YouTube because I was going to start on YouTube, and Brian G. Johnson did not have this book out yet. So I bought this book, and when it came home, it was really skinny. And I read it in like not even an hour. We just read the whole thing, and I read it word for word. It wasn't even like I was perusing through it. I was really concentrating on it. When I was done, I was really disappointed because I overpaid for a book, and it had blog posts in it. And it was, I read literally about 5 books a month, 4 to 5 books a month. So over the years, I've read thousands of books, right? So this was the first 1-star review I'd ever given anybody. But there's this way of protecting people. It's like, if you deliver real value, if you deliver really good on your books, you will have healed and helped the world in immeasurable ways. And I want you to hear that again. Your content, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a meme, whether it's this, you're going to have a choice whether you're uplifting things, whether you're helping people rise, whether you're helping people grow. You are going to have opportunities right there with your content creation. Now, if you look at the content creator king, I think Gary Vee is the absolute, maniac of it. Now, I want to let you know he's got a team now, and he can put out 85 to 100 pieces of content a day. We strive for about 30 to 40 pieces of content a day. We're trying to grow that over our time. And so here's the thing. Content is still king. Content is currency. Content is influence. Now, if you write content that's below the level, you'll ruin your career forever. The bar is raising every day. Now, I want to let you know, everybody says, well, the bar is raising. The bar raises every day. There is someone out there who is willing to be better than your best work. And if you're willing to be better than your best work, then you can continue the growth. You can continue having more. But every day the bar goes up. And you have to be willing to find the piece of you that enjoys excellence, that enjoys putting out your best work, that enjoys putting out the best, strongest message that you can, and keep improving on that. And you have to be willing to say, look, this is book 1.0. Here's book 2.0. If you take a look at Joel Comm's got Twitter power, and he's got Twitter power 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. Why? Because platforms change and people need to know how to use that. You guys are talking so fast. Let me go over here and say hello. Let's see. I've been a show me the money gal long before the line became popular. That's right. That's how it is. So, Karen, books make the best business cards. They are the business cards. But now there's so many ways you can get your message out. We got a hello from Brazil. Brr. I guess it must be cold now. Hello, Brazil. Nice to see you. Thank you for this. So true. I'm not sure if that's Ryan or Bondi, but Brent, both of you, either way. I love this. I love this. Content is perennial. Yes. And that's why you always, it's like, you guys, it's so important to put your best work out there, your best work. And I remember thinking when I wrote Champagne Thoughts and Caviar Power, I was like, okay, I'm putting my best work out. I don't know what I'm going to do after that. And suddenly you raise the bar, you get raised, and there's this whole other level of information and things that can be applied so that will help you grow your business. I want to tell you the one most successful thing I ever did was put the effort in to learn to write and write well. Content is currency. Content is influence. Yes. And content is joint venture. If you're looking at content as a joint venture thing, it is absolutely imperative that you understand the power that you have in your hands. It's like everybody wants money to always be green. And so like more green. And I'm like that. I like green, but I also understand the currency of having a book, the currency of having influence, the currency of being published, the currency of constantly creating content and being out and sharing what I know so that it'll help you grow. Right? We want to turn information into transformation. And the way we do that is we get to the point where we are here, warts and all, vulnerably saying, because I'm going to tell you what, this is vulnerability. This is vulnerability in its biggest way. And I will tell you why. Vulnerability is when you write a book and it's out there, you can't take it back. You can't go, oh gosh, that was wrong. I have a different opinion now. It's out there. It's out there. And what happens when people read it? They review it. And mostly reviews are opinions. And sometimes the opinions are nice and sometimes they're very harsh. There's a level of vulnerability when you put content out there. It doesn't matter whether it's a podcast or a show. You get to develop your leathery skin and say, I'm in. You guys, I want to go ahead and go back over here and pull up some of the comments we got here. This is from Barb Tip. Have bookmarks printed and start distributing them with calling cards before the book is published. I didn't learn that in one of the early publishings. That's a good tip right there. Thank you. Content is king, but consistency is the queen. Yes. If you have one book in you, you got two. If you got two books in you, you got four. If you got four books in you, you got eight. Consistency is the queen of the content that is king. Yes. Thank you for that. That was very good. Every day is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Welcome to Metadigm Media. We're the neighborhood. Platforms are constantly updating. Yes. And when they do, there's an opportunity to create content that help people understand those platforms. Every time you publish, you raise your own bar to supersede on the next publication. And you know what, Sean? This is really the key right here. Every time you publish, you raise the bar to supersede on the next publication. You're absolutely right. Looking at this right here, Robin Helm, it's really, really good. My passion. I do coaching workshops for women, mastermind, train sales teams, etc. A lot of promoting going on here. We look forward to having Barty on the show on our first available date. Thank you. And then you can promote away. Turn information into transformation. Yes. So here's the thing. Somebody replied, smart. Here's the thing. You are so right. So here's what I want to share with you. It's good to promote yourself. It's better to connect with yourself. I want to say this. Everybody believes in marketing, cause marketing, initiative marketing, any kind of marketing that you do. Here's the best marketing tip you can ever hear. I really want to hear this, you to hear this in a way that makes sense. Connecting with people, connecting with them in an authentic manner, just being who you are and right in front of them, connecting with people. There is not a better marketing strategy. And what producing content allows you to do is connect with people. Connect with people in a way where you're sharing with them. And I want to let you know, everybody talks about making more content, but the truth is, making content is vulnerable in the beginning. Everybody wants, it's like on your first book, you hope everybody loves your book on your first book. Well, now after 37 books, I go back 37 books and I'm like, wow, this book sucked. It was my first book. My 37th book is way better, way stronger. And I'm more proud of the work I put out today than I did back then. But everybody else is like, no, this is still good. But you'll see your improvement. The way you'll see your improvement is to do a piece of content again and again and be willing to get it wrong. The first time I did a Facebook Live, I'm not kidding, I couldn't even look at the camera. I was like over here looking around at it. I couldn't even look anybody in the face. And here's the thing, you got to be willing to suck before you get better. Yes? So I want to tell you, creating content is the practice of connecting with an audience that wants more from you over and over and over again. And when you get to the point where you are willing to be exposed in that way, when you're willing to be wrong, when you're willing to be a hater, when you're willing to have those things there for you, you will also be willing to plant the seeds that are going to build you an absolute audience that are going to say, yes, this person is willing to show up with me. Show up with me. So it's not about, hey, I do this and I do this and I do that and I do this and I do that. How can we connect heart to heart and build a community and build success over a long period of time and sharing what you do, sharing what you do. I like this right here. I rarely purchase editions of books these days. Love Kindle and Audible combinations. You know, me too. I'm telling you, Robin is addicted to Audible. She puts that headset on no matter where we go. If we go on a long drive and we go, sure, and it doesn't matter where. She is constantly listening to that Audible. Yes. I love with this, connect with others, engage, make comments. That is beautiful. Thank you. And so here's the thing, truth. This is the truth. Brian, king of publishing. This guy has been everywhere. And I know he's written a book and I know he's got one he's working on right now. And when he's done, we're going to pull him on this show and have some fun because he is a good guy. It's not B2B nor B2C. It's people to people. Yes. Thank you. Or as Brian Kramer says, human to human. That is beautiful. That melted my heart. Thank you. That is so important to have today. Yes, human to human. Yes. And so this is Sean. Be willing to get it wrong. You got to be willing to put your neck out there. You will grow and be in such development as a person when you continue to publish. And so this is what I like to promote. This is somebody's new book. It's her day of launching. She's launched this out here. And if you want to read something, I don't know if it's good yet. It just came in this morning and I was like, yay. So I shot her a photo of me with the book. You can help others promote others. That's a piece of content. If you help and say, look, I just read this book, every book, whether it's this book or another book, I have pictures of me holding this book, doing this with it. You can promote each other and help each other grow, help each other win. Listen, this is where a rising tide lifts all boats, a rising tide that lifts all boats. I want to talk about this. Getting it wrong is then being open to getting it right. Thank you. That's it right there. Getting it wrong is then open to getting it right. So let's talk one more thing, and then we're going to close the show out here today. Connect with people in books and connect with people digitally. Like right now on the Coffee Break Show, willing to be authentic, to build trust and share your discerning information. What you see, what you hear is what you get. Thank you, Donnie. It's a nice compliment. I try to do that. I want to say, Barty, thanks for hanging out with us. Love to have you on the show. Going to read your book this weekend and enjoy it. And I'm going to be hanging out. Look at this. Sometimes it feels overwhelming to think about publishing a book when it's not something you've ever done. Yes, I remember those feelings. Where to get started, self-published or publishing company. We're going to talk about that actually, Lori, on Wednesday. We've got Linda Sterling on, who is my publisher, and we are going to have such a great conversation with that. You don't want to miss that one. How much money to invest, a lot of things to consider, which doesn't help with motivation. Well, it doesn't if you're thinking it's a hard task. You're thinking that it's overwhelming. What if there was a way you could do that, Lori, without thinking those thoughts that it's going to be overwhelming or that you're going to be cheated or how am I going to do it? What if you could figure it out along the way, step by step, and suddenly you take a quantum leap into that? And Lori, I'm going to tell you, Wednesday's conversation, this is publishing week right now. We're going into that on Monday. We're going to be talking about the power of that. So content is everywhere: a picture, a quote, a video, a recommendation. Let's see, a judo to someone, a video, a recommendation, a judo to someone. Okay, I must not understand judo in a modern term because I still have judo as in martial arts in my head. So you might want to enlighten me there, Robert. Anyway, so today I want to thank you for being here. The power of publishing is the future, but you have to understand money isn't always green. Money comes in so many forms, and the more you understand, thank you. Okay, here it is. I meant kudo. Thank you. And so what would happen is I want everyone to know that the power of publishing doesn't have to be a book. It could be a podcast. It can be a meme. Lori, content is photography. Your form of content, you're just learning one, learn another, whether it's a podcast, whether it doesn't have to be a book. You could start with just an article. You can get paid on Medium to write articles. And so there are so many entry points. There's so many entry points into this wonderful world of publishing, whether it's video, whether it's radio, whether it's podcast, whether it's anything. Just know that you can set your thumbprint in a piece of content. That's a Coffee Break Show today. I love you all. See you tomorrow. We're going to celebrate a whole bunch of successes and party on. All right, you guys. Mwah, peace out. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.